Okay, so what if I told you that a word we use all the time, a word like nonverbal, might actually be, well, wrong? It sounds simple, but today we're going to dig into a little distinction between two words that could honestly change the way you think about communication itself. And this whole idea really kicked off with a story from a student in applied behavior analysis, ABA. After 2 years in the field, they had this huge aha moment. They realized something they'd been told for years about their clients, specifically clients who don't speak, was just not quite right. It's that kind of moment, right? When a simple truth just flips a switch in your brain.
All right, so let's get into it. First up, we've got to tackle this common misunderstanding. It's all about a term we probably all use without even thinking.
And that term is nonverbal. Think about it. In just regular conversation, even in a lot of professional circles, if someone doesn't speak, we say they're nonverbal. It seems to fit, right? It gets the point across, so we just don't question it. But let's pause for a second. What does that word really imply? For a lot of people, there's this instant mental shortcut. You hear nonverbal, and your brain kind of jumps to can't communicate, a total inability to get their thoughts out. But is that actually true?
And that question, right there, brings us to the heart of the matter. This is the big revelation. The twist in the story comes down to the difference between two words that sound similar, words we mix up all the time, verbal versus vocal.
Okay, check this out. It's actually super clear when you see them side by side. Vocal is all about the how. It's the physical act, using your vocal cords to make sounds. But verbal? That's all about the why. It's any kind of communication that has an effect on someone else. So you can already see it's a way, way bigger idea.
So let's break that down just a little more. Vocal behavior is super straightforward. It's just the how. Did your vocal cords do their thing and make a sound? Yes? Okay, that's vocal behavior. End of story. It's all about the mechanics.
Now, verbal behavior, that's a whole different ballgame. This is the why. It is all about the function. It doesn't care how you sent the message. The only question is, did it have an effect on a listener? So yeah, speaking counts, but so does sign language, writing something down, pointing at what you want. Seriously, any action that gets a message across is verbal behavior.
This makes more sense with some examples. So, right now, what I'm doing, I'm talking. I'm using my vocal cords, so it's vocal. And hopefully, I'm communicating some ideas to you, so it's also verbal. That's the easy one, right? Both at the same time.
Okay, now what about someone using sign language? Let's think it through. Are they using their vocal cords? Nope, so that makes it non-vocal. But are they communicating? Are they sharing complex thoughts and ideas? Heck yes, so it is 100% verbal.
Let's make it even simpler. A kid points to a cookie jar. No sound, no voice, so it's non-vocal. But are they communicating? You bet they are. You know exactly what they want. That action, that point has a function. It's totally verbal.
Okay, so we've got the definitions down. And I know what some of you might be thinking. All right, cool, but isn't this just arguing about words, semantics? And honestly, that's a fair question. But this is where it gets really, really important.
Is this just some inside baseball for specialists, or does it actually matter out here in the real world?
The answer is a huge no. It matters a ton. And one person online just nailed it. They said when people hear nonverbal, their brain takes that mental shortcut and just goes straight to they can't communicate. And that is just flat out false. And that right there is the whole point. The words we choose literally shape how we see people. When we label someone nonverbal, we're basically focusing on what they can't do. It kind of erases all the other ways they might be communicating. But if you shift that one word to non-vocal, suddenly everything changes. It accurately says, okay, they don't use speech, but it leaves the door wide open to see all the other incredible ways they are communicating.
So this whole thing brings up a really interesting problem you see in pretty much any specialized field, right? It's that classic clash between the technical jargon and just how we talk every day. See, this whole vocal versus verbal thing isn't just made up. It comes straight from the science of behavior analysis. And in that world, you have to be precise. These definitions are absolutely critical for doing good research and for helping people effectively.
But let's be real. Another person who seems to be in the field put it pretty bluntly. They said, we behavior analysts love our jargon and semantics. It's really just some shit Skinner made up. And you gotta love the honesty, right? It's this perfect admission that, yeah, these terms are important on the inside, but to everyone else, they can feel a little disconnected from reality.
And that's really the big challenge, isn't it? Bridging that gap. How do you take a concept that's super precise and really important and explain it to everybody without making their eyes glaze over from all the jargon?
Okay, so let's wrap this up, because this is about more than just swapping out one word for another. It's really about a whole new way of thinking.
Think about the journey we just took. We started out with that simple, common idea. Nonverbal just means someone who doesn't speak. Then, bam, the revelation. Speaking is vocal, but communicating is verbal. And we end up in a much better place. We understand now that a person can be non-vocal, not using their voice, but still be completely 100% verbal, getting their message across in all sorts of other ways.
Look, if there is just one thing you take away from all this, please let it be this. Communication is so much bigger, so much more amazing than just the sounds we make with our mouths. And once you really get that, you start to see and appreciate all the incredible, diverse ways people actually connect with each other.
So I'll leave you with this final thought, and it's a big one. How might the words we choose every single day, those little shortcuts, be shaping our entire understanding of other people's abilities? It really makes you think, doesn't it? Thanks for digging into this with me.